President Bola Tinubu recently assured that he is mindful of the rising cost of food and how it affects the citizens, and thus is ready to handle the situation for the good of all. Special Advisor to the President on Special Duties, Communication and Strategy, Dele Alake, who spoke on behalf of the President, disclosed that measures in the action plan would include an immediate release of fertilizers and grains to farmers and households to ease the pain of the petrol subsidy removal. Our correspondent, Afolashade Aziz, spoke to some farmers and how they weigh it in our report.
In early 2023, the United Nations warned that 25 million Nigerians are at high risk of food insecurity if urgent action is not taken. The nation's battle to feed our citizens presents a new significant challenge for the new President, Bola Tinubu, who promised to assist farmers in feeding their families and the nation at large during his inauguration speech. He stated that food will be made more abundant yet less costly, adding that farmers shall earn more while the average Nigerians pays less. But 2 months after that inauguration speech, prices of food items have doubled, in some cases more than that, no thanks to the removal of petrol subsidy, which has affected the cost of transportation, sourcing of needed agricultural inputs, and other goods and services. Beyond the fuel prices crisis, Nigeria's farmers in many parts of the north, especially the Federal Capital Territory, are unable to grow enough crops in the last 3 years due to consistent insecurity, with many of them being killed or kidnapped, while others have simply abandoned their farmlands.
Honestly, last year, I almost cried because I planted beans, most hectares of land. And in fact, why I say I almost cried because I came Friday of that week and I saw the whole thing mature enough for me to harvest. Just because I was not ready, the following day was Saturday. I came, I did not see anything. Everything was grazed down.
The challenges we are having here is much because of these headers. They always come, destroy our farms, and if you talk, nobody will listen to you.
It has a very big impact in our farm based on the farm input. Fertilizer is now high, chemicals are high, seeds alone are high, transportation coming to the farm from my residence is high, laborers coming to the farm, paying them is still high, so it is really affecting.
The national president of All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Ak Kabir Ibrahim, has appealed to the government to urgently make the promised program available to subsidize farm inputs directly to the farmers and not the middlemen to curb leakages.
In our attempt to get to become food secure, we need to be able to afford all the things that we need to produce. So if government really desires the attainment of food security in the near future, a program should be available that will subsidize this directly to the farmers, not through middlemen. And if you are going to even distribute palliatives, do it directly to the farmers.
President of Young Farmers Network, Mr. Promise Amaha, emphasized the need for the government to consider the development and implementation of a climate-resilient plan as it greatly affects food security.
We cannot overemphasize the need for government to develop what we call a climate-resilient plan, right? That looks not just on primary production, but on the whole value chain and provides, strategic mitigation plans for all of that strategy. That's what government needs to do before the issue gets out of hand. The reason why the cattle are encroaching into those farms is that, as long as they are, alive, they also want to survive, and the herders too are also connected so deeply with their herd.
Following President Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency on food security, presidential spokesman Mr. Dele Alake said the president has approved that all matters pertaining to food and water availability and affordability as essential livelihood items be included within the purview of the National Security Council.
As a direct and immediate response to this crisis, a number of initiatives will be deployed in the coming weeks to reverse this inflationary trend and guarantee future uninterrupted supplies of affordable foods to ordinary Nigerians. We will immediately release fertilizers and grains to farmers and households to mitigate the effects of the subsidy removal.
It listed other interventions to tackle the food crisis as including exploring better means of transportation and storage, increasing revenue from food and agricultural export and trade facilitation. Afolashade Azeez, ASO Television News.